Hoopy-doo, it's everyone's favorite boomer and vintage lens enthusiast, and today we're going to look at the Canon G15. This is a real old school point and shoot, has a magnesium body. It's not waterproof, but it's slightly moisture resistant. That means you could go out in a fine mist, otherwise a pouring rain it'll get ruined. It's got all buttons, no touch screen, no articulate screen. It has an optical viewfinder. It does have some sort of Bluetooth or something, but I shut it off. Does it? Let me look. Maybe that's the next one. Oh, no. That's the G16 has wireless. So that's why I bought this one right when the G16 came out. It was $100 off, plus some New York City discount at one of the big stores. It's a fine camera. It takes excellent pictures. If you got to be somewhere with a camera, it has excellent color, good sharpness. This comes off. And you could put an adapter tube on this, and you could put a 1.7 multiplier on it for a little bit extra reach with the telephoto. Now, I always have it in AV mode, and in bright sunny conditions, I always set it at f8. And then when you press the button halfway, then the camera picks the shutter speed. I always have the grid on because, I don't know, I always have it crooked. So by having the grid on, I could tell when everything's lined up. The flash is off because the flash is put down. So that's cool too. It has a whole bunch of different stuff you could pick. It has a full menu with a lot of adjustments and stuff. It automatically creates a new folder every time you start the camera, so that's good, you know. So and it goes by the date. I have it set by the date, and this way I can. Oh, it was July 28th. I was there. Yeah, that's this. So the EXIF gives you the F number of the lens. It gives you the shutter speed, the ISO. It gives you the focal length of the lens. It's 6.1 to 3.5. What's that, like 5x zoom? Look at that, 1.8 to 2.8. It's really good at low light level. You know, and at 800 and even 1600, you get really good results. This is one of their best cameras they ever made. And I don't know why my cat is squawking. He always does that. He walks out of the room, then he squawks. I go see what he's doing, and then he just stands there and looks at me. So I really like this camera. I use it a lot, but now that I've gotten the mirrorless and vintage lenses, it's sort of like laying fallow. But what I did was I took my Nikon Z6 to a car show with the Canon 35-105 FD on it, and I took a whole bunch of pictures with that. But this thing has a much more useful movie mode, where it's full-time movie mode. You'll have to press this button and you start taking pictures. It's supposed to have IS in it, and you can set it to continuous or one shot or something like that. But it's really takes really nice movies, 1920 by 1080 movies right out of the box. It's excellent. For some reason, if you want to display your pictures on a monitor, they all want it, because I have another sample of this, and you gotta go minus 2/3 to get the correct overall brightness of the engine, of the image between dark and light. So that's full time. You hit the button. When you're done, you hit the button, and then that stops the movie. So that's really good. Here's the playback button. Oh, no image. I bet you the card isn't in here. No, the card's in there. That's not good. Press the button. Oh, I moved all the images over to my hard drive, and I sort of like wiped it out. So, okay. But all right, let's do this. I take a picture of this cup. It beeps when it's in focus. So that's a pretty cool picture. So I took the Canon Z6 and a vintage Canon lens, and I also took this. And I took a couple snapshots, and we're going to see them next. You know, the usual A and B, where A is a full frame crop, and then I did a 1:1 crop for this movie format, and you can see how good it is. But in the movies, it's excellent, right? Say you have the thing on, whoever, it focuses too. You press halfway, it's in focus, then you hit this, and you're good to go. And I found I'm going to take this to more car shows because it's good to capture like the cars pulling in and parking and stuff like that. You know, and it's 6.1 on this sensor isn't super wide, but it's wide angle without a doubt. And the 30 is definitely a telephoto by comparison because it's a 5x zoom. So it's a real nice lightweight camera. The batteries last forever. And you still get these batteries. This is a Watson aftermarket, but you still get the Canon battery. And Watson batteries are pretty good. I have no problem with these. You don't even have to bring a spare battery with you if it's charged up. Shoot all day. Take some movies. I mean short movies, you know, 1 minute, 30 seconds, maybe 15 seconds. You can shoot all day like that. Interspersed with a lot of, you know, snapshots. So it's a really, really, really nice camera. It's good for video, on-the-spot video. It's less cumbersome than a mirrorless camera. The Nikon Z6 is sort of big, and even the 35-105 is sort of a big lens too. So this way it's sort of a lightweight. And let's turn it on one more time. You see, that's a 4x3, right? I'm going into movie mode, and that's this is 1920 by 1080 mode, which is 16 by 9. But it remembers that. It remembers what you're in, and when you press this button, it goes to that last mode it was in. I just took a picture by accident. And what you do is just press this button. This becomes delete, erase, and you're good to go. Oh, and these cameras are dirt cheap, $100 in excellent condition with a battery and a charger. I mean, this price, even when I got it with $100 off and some sort of New York discount, they were close to like $500 or something. I bought another one somewhat later. It was an open box display model, and I got like for like $350. You know, and I'm very satisfied with these cameras. This is a camera I could recommend. They're small, they're lightweight. You can have it hanging around your neck all day without bothering you. And it does take excellent pictures. It's a step up from any point and shoot. It's semi-pro, I would say. And it's rugged. You know, like I said, magnesium frame. Too bad it wasn't like some water resistant. Didn't have to be waterproof. They could have made it water resistant, but it's not. And you can put an external flash on it. Here's the two speakers, I believe. Yeah, it's a really, really nice camera. Really nice camera. And I'll tell you what, let's look at some photos, and I got a bunch of short clips of movies of the car show also. I see this guy and his dog at every other car show I go to. I have pictures of his dog more than his car. I like to take pictures of trophies just to see this is what you get when you win, when you're best of class or something. And, you know, these cars are so polished that you see all the reflections of everything in them. And that's amazing. Now remember, this is a G15. It's got a smaller sensor in it, and it still did really, really, really good. And, you know, it's a 5x zoom, and some I did at the minimum, some I did at maximum, some I went in between. With this lens, I really just used a zoom lever to get the composition I want. So you see a lot of like numbers in between the wide and the telly. This is nice. Look at it. It's there's a self-portrait in that mirror finish. Funhouse self-portrait, but still a portrait nonetheless. Oh, this guy overdid his spoiler, huh? That's unusual. I've never seen this car before. I like to look down the line and get that perspective. 30.5 millimeters, that's a max telephoto. It's a nice high-resolution camera with good fidelity, excellent color renditioning. It's another Stang. So this is at a wide angle. This is the B picture at the wide angle. Now this is at the telephoto, so you can see, get a gauge of what the is. And here's at the B of the telephoto. Now, I wasn't trying to take, outstanding pictures with this. I was just taking snapshots, but I have a feel of what works with cars and what doesn't. And I was very pleased with the results of this. And it's a really, really nice camera. Small, lightweight. It fits in like a big pocket. You can wear it on your neck. Like I said before, it's not waterproof, so you got to watch out for that. Otherwise, it's really rugged. On the way home, they were having a funeral. I guess the guy was a fireman, and they had these fire trucks out in front of the funeral home. The DJ started playing music, so I got to stomp on his soundtrack for copyright purposes. The Canon PowerShot G15 is a really excellent video camera. I got to admit that. And that's why I started using it a lot. It took really decent pictures that could stand on their own, but it took really excellent video too. And the sound was nice too. Nature sounds or car sounds. I wish I could have the rumble of the cars as they went by, but there's all this 50s rock they were playing, and I just got to stomp over it. It was a really nice, small, lightweight camera that you could take anywhere, and we had a fast lens and a high ISO, and a lot of adjustments you can make. That was my go-to camera for years. Of course, the ladies sort of fallow these days. I guess I should start using it more. Here's a Stang. I used to go to the city a lot with it. And, because it was small and lightweight, keep it in a jacket. Of course, when I went to the city, Rudy and Bloomy were mayors, and it was so safe there because they had a gaggle of cops in every corner, and the bad guys knew their place, And now it's like the bad guys know their place. They're on top of the food chain instead of on the bottom. And I read or get online, WINS, the local news station out of New York, and they had so many scary things happen there. You never know where they get tall chalked or knifed or thrown on the subway tracks or shot or bludgeoned or burnt in a shopping cart. You just don't know. And nowhere is safe. Even big populous areas like Penn Station, Washington Square Park, anywhere, weird, bad things could happen. And it's just like a scary city now. I would never go there. Pro tip life hack, stay out of New York City. Now, if you look at this car show, there's a bunch of old farts there. Of course, I'm an old fart. I fit right in. There are a couple young bucks, not too many women, but it's a car show. It's a car thing. People go to see the cars. Look how good the color came out on this yellow coupe here. Excellent. Really nice job. Pick one up for $100 somewhere. Just make sure you got a battery and a charger, and then run it through its paces, zoom it in and out, take a couple of snapshots. Usually they come with a memory card. So, for $100 you can't go wrong. I highly recommend one. And it's a good companion camera if you got your DSLR or mirrorless camera with you. And, let's face it, you put a vintage lens, they're bulky. Here's a perfect example of dust on the front lens. It's on the front lens. I forgot to clean it off. So I'm a dope. But I was able to pace this car as I was driving down the parking lot. Of course, if I was on the other side of the car, I was facing the opposite direction, then the sun would have been shining on the dust and maybe you wouldn't have noticed it so much. Ferrari. They were big bucks back in the day. I suppose they're even big bucks now. I guess a lot of people got bucks. I have a Yaris. It's made by Toyota. You know what their motto is? It's a car. Toyota discontinued that model. But there's still a lot of them around. They're good, cheap cars.